Good morning or good evening everyone, depending where you're living, and welcome back to the R.V.R factory number 2 here in Rimini, Italy, of course, where we do develop and manufacture high power FM transmitter from 5 up to 60 kilowatt, but as well, as you are seeing over here, tailor-made solution for our international clients. And for this reason, today I'm having Giorgio with me, talking about this special project and what's inside this cabin. Good morning, Giorgio.
Good morning.
So, when you start talking about this project with your client, which was the need at the beginning?
Actually, they needed to install a nation station and a regional station in existing rooms, transmitting rooms. Actually, they found out that at a certain point, they are investing a lot of money to install brand new systems into a very old building. And therefore, we have showed them that there is a huge risk that the equipment may get faulty. There may be some humidity getting in, some dust and sand. So we have explained to them that the easier solution for us and for them would be to have a full installation here in the factory and have a wall cabinet shipped by ocean freight and be installed, dropped directly on the place on a concrete surface and then connected to the antenna system. In this case, they avoid the risk of getting mishandling or bad installations, or specifically the issue related to investing a lot of money in new systems and operating in a dirty or unsafe environment.
So how many cabins we are going to ship?
The project is for 6 cabinets in total. Now we're shipping out the first 3, which are for the major areas, and the next 3 will be shipped at the beginning of January.
Okay, so this is a turnkey project we are presenting today for one of our international customers. So I'm just for the people that is connecting right now, we are presenting something we are doing and we can supply you, since R.V.R is not just turnkey units, antennas, filters and combiners, and of course transmitters, but as well turnkey solution for our clients. So we're going to open the cabin and discover what kind of transmitters, what kind of setup we are revealing today. And here we are. So we are seeing 2 stations, right?
Exactly. As I told you before, we have 2 different type of transmission. We have a regional network that is intended for a small area coverage, and a nationwide program that is intended for a bigger environment. Actually, this is a station and 1+1 protected unit, 1 kilowatt each, with its own protection system for the power supply unit, which is R.V.R and UPS. These are the brand new series, the new technology, the next generation 1 kilowatt transmitters, so the PTX 1000 TFTs. It sports this color display and touch screen. And we have here this changeover unit that provides the switching over between the on-air and the reserve station. We can see here all the measurement and the readings that we can do from the telemetry, starting on a standard web browser, which allows us to control all the parameters, power, directly reflected power, temperature, frequency, all the alarms, and then we can adjust frequency from a remote, we can change the firmware, we can download the alarms, we can intervene if there is any software upgrade to do. We can do it standard from a standard web browser. There's no need to purchase any kind of software to operate this machine.
So this cabin can be unattended and you can control the cabin remotely with no human operation apart from the classical maintenance.
Exactly. So there is only, we suggest one maintenance intervention every 4 months or every 6 months. They have found out that it was wiser to install in the same room also the high power transmitter, which is currently replacing an existing transmitter which is located into another location that will be shut down finally. This is a 12.5 kilowatt transmitters composed with 5 drawers, extractable drawers, hot plug, 2.5 kilowatt each. So we have a CCU, control unit, the 5 amplifiers, redundant exciting 30 watt, dummy load, and high-end telemetry. This high-end telemetry allows for SNMP1 or SNMP2 interconnection into any type of network management system the customer may already have. So this is, let's say, the national service, and this is the regional service.
Okay.
Also, the regional service has its own telemetry features. Of course, this is intended to be controlled only by the regional management, so it is not connected actually to an NMS.
So this cabin can be unattended, and you can control the cabin remotely with no human operation apart from the classical maintenance.
Exactly. So there is only, we suggest one maintenance intervention every 4 months or every 6 months.
Okay.
A very important feature before we move ahead is this switchboard, the main switchboard. One of the major troubles when installing this kind of transmitters, especially if we're going on a high power but on a low power too, is to fly over a little bit on the quality of the electrical installation, which is the key factor to have a continuous and smooth operation. So this is a very important feature, because you can have the best transmitter. If the installation is not excellent and proper, then you can have a lot of troubles, because especially in some countries, in some areas of the world, you have a huge problems related to the stability of the electrical network. So to avoid all this, we're making like this is like an island, if you see what I mean. So it's an island that is totally controlled and totally manufactured by the engineers of R.V.R. So you can ship this as a one block, completely separate from every other existing component. So that is why we give a full warranty on the whole setup.
Okay, and this is divided in sections.
This is divided in sections, so you can switch off and separate what belongs to the 1 kilowatt regional service and the one that we're showing you now, which is the national service. This is another machine. This is a 12.5 kilowatt transmitter with a redundant exciter, 2 times 30 watt digital exciter, with a high-end telemetry, which can interconnect to a network management system. If you have hundreds of tens or hundreds of transmitters, you need a SNMP V1 or V2 monitoring system based on a network management system at a 5 kilowatt dummy load. And then we have 5 drawers. Each one of them is 2.5 kilowatt power. So this station is 12.5 kilowatt power transmission power, even if the specification asks for 10 kilowatt. Just to give it the coolest transmitter available. Let me just...
Could you show us the blades, just to let the people understand why we call this solution hot plug-in? Oh, here we are. Okay.
So with this, you have 5 modules, 2.5 kilowatt each. So now the power supply protection system is still with the customer, so it's not here, and this is why I'm not putting it in full air right now. So this is a 2.5 kilowatt by 5, so 12.5 kilowatt. This control unit that gives all the information and is interconnected to the telemetry unit. And this is for the national coverage.
And as well, each power amplifier has its own fan array.
Of course, so you can extract the amplifier if it's failing, or you can extract the fans and replace it.
So there's no wiring, it's just
no
plug
wiring.
and play.
That's plug and place. And
okay.
The transmitter works continuously, and the drop in power is only in proportion to the drawer that you're taking off, because the unbalanced power is taken care by the dummy load.
To the dummy. Okay. So that's why we don't have a modular solution like in the regional side, but we have a complete hot plug. So you can extract the power amplifier you have to work on, and the system will continue to go over the air without going below minus 3 dB, right?
Exactly. So you always you grant always more than 6 kilowatt out of output power, which is a way more than half of the 10 kilowatt that was the original request.
Okay.
So you have 2.5 kilowatt extra power on there on this transmitter, which is a lot. All the stations comes with their own all set of manuals and all set of keys and everything. So the engineering coming for the engineers coming for the maintenance, they can find all the information without needing to download it from the web.
So all documents, all tools needed to do maintenance on this complete cabin. And talking about temperature, since like I can imagine the client has specific needs as well for keeping the station cool. So what we implement?
So we have to consider that this setup is installed in an environment that is reaching even 50 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So it must be keeping the system cool at around 30 to 35 indoor temperature. And we use, now we see it on the back of the shelter. Let's see, it's a system coming from the telecom industry. It's specialized air conditioning unit. It can be 1 or 2.
Okay.
The customer asked for 1 because we are granting enough cooling capacity with 1, but it may also come with a dual ciphered system in order to have the cooling continuity and enough volume of fresh air coming in.
So our R&D department studied the cabin, including the air conditioning, based on the client's needs and the position, geographically position of where we are going to install this cabin, right?
Of course. Depending on the climate zone, we have some climate zone with numbers and letters defining which is the climate zone and which is the need for cooling. It is very important to see this. This is a temporary, we're feeding it with this 3-phase. So the only interconnection that the customer must do is this one, and on the roof or on this wall pass, the antenna.
Okay.
So power coming in, antenna going out. That's as
it.
easy as this. They don't have to do any other wiring.
So let's say it's a plug and play solution. So the client is receiving already its own cabin RF, complete just to plug the power and interconnect the antenna cable.
Exactly. So the only thing that must be existing is a flat area or a flat concrete stand on which this shelter will be lifted and dropped, and the tower with the antennas on top. That's all.
So is the client going to save money as well in the installation, right?
He's saving a lot of time. He's saving a lot of money, but especially he is investing in the future of the continuity of the broadcast, because we give a warranty not only on the transmitter but on the whole set. So as far as it's our own electrical distribution system, as far as it's our own power protection systems and everything, it's our own isolation, thermal and rain isolation. We give a warranty on the whole set.
So it's one unique provider, R.V.R., for this solution. So we are moving back to the front just to let who's watching and is connecting right now in this live on tape session the kind of solution we are almost ready to deliver. That's one of many we are delivering to an international network that needs a main transmitter for the national coverage and a regional one. So we are presenting a 12.5 kilowatt output on the plug-in version with double exciter and advanced telemetry with FM monitoring, and a solution 1 kilowatt plus one main, one backup with its own telemetry, UPS, what else?
Yes,
and stabilizer.
Regulator, yes, stabilizer. Yes. You may ask me why you have a 1+1 on the 1 kilowatt and you don't have a 1+1 on the nationwide network, because these are hot pluggable blades, like server blades. So you can pull it on and off without switching off the transmitter. So you have the dual exciter, it is protected. You have 5 amplifiers. When you switch off or extract the amplifier, the transmitter reduces its power only in proportion of the drawer you extracted. It never goes to off, never goes below -3 dB. So it never goes below, let's say, 6 kilowatts in the worst condition.
If you're interested in something like this, you can write us at any time at sales@rvr.it or browsing our website at www.rvr.it, and we are going to be very happy to answer to your needs and your question, and just to find out the perfect solution tailored by your needs. So thank you so much, Giorgio.
You're welcome. You see, there are two more
Yes.
shipping now, and another 3 on the pipeline.
So you can imagine we are producing several stations made exactly the same for this client that is going to receive a complete package, and its own cabin is going to come with all the tools for the maintenance and the documents, everything needs for the technical guys on site to keep the station on. So thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you, Matteo.
See you soon, guys, for new live programs in December, and of course for the 2022 with many news and many new products we're going to show from our catalog. Thank you, guys.
Now I'm going to show you something good.
Oh, okay, great.
Take
Nice.
this. Please.
Show me. Oh, so that is a similar station to the other one, right?
This is exactly the same.
Okay.
You see, we have to keep the 10 kilowatt power because
Okay.
it's the mandatory power for the license they have, and we have 2.5 kilowatt extra power just in case of need. So you have these 5 units, they're all in green, a dual exciter, and this is also having an additional 5 kilowatt for a second service. So we have another another exciter for the 5 kilowatt, the compact 5 kilowatt, the 2 exciters for the 10 kilowatt, and then we have a switchover between the 2.
Okay.
So this is a very, very nice station. Now this is just for showing you how it works.
So 10 kilowatt in one side, 5 kilowatt as a major backup.
Exactly.
In case of major
backup.
fault.
Actually,
Okay.
we can have with or without the changeover, so we can have one frequency on 10 kilowatt, another frequency on 5 with an external filter. Renzo, possiamo tirar fuori un'alimentazione? It's gonna be...
So you're going to show us something? Okay.
Just to show how it works when you
Okay.
have a failure on the...
This is the fan array, right?
This is the fans, the fan
Okay.
growers, and this is the power supply unit.
Okay. Independent.
That's independent, and even an untrained engineer can do it. You know,
Okay.
you can remove it like that. You can service the failed blower. You see, it's still turning, and put
Okay.
it back again without need to interconnect manually any kind of cables. It's very practical, you know,
So
and it's very lightweight, you know. So,
So
you can take 1 or 2 in your car, and you don't have any problem. Of course, the power is remaining at 10 kilowatt. This kind of machine, even if we extract all the blowers, it remains at 10 kilowatt without interruption for more than half an hour.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
unbelievable. With the
Yeah.
new transistors, we reach an unbelievable rate of
So once you
efficiency.
remove this fan array, the others one adjust the temperature of the overall system, so they are going to speed up? Okay.
I mean, this system is very cool on its own. That is the reason
Okay.
why we can install in Asia, in Africa, and Latin America, in very hot environment, very dusty, because it doesn't need that much of power, of blower power, because it's cool by itself. It doesn't leave out too much heat. Of course, the same thing you can do it with the power amplifier. Of course, removing a power amplifier results in a reduced output power, but it works like that. We often do, when we have customers visiting, we often do this trick of removing all the fans, so the equipment becomes suddenly silent, totally silent, and then maybe we go to have a snack.
Yeah.
And we go back after 20 minutes still on 10 kilowatt without any ventilation. That's crazy. But it's very important. It's not just to show off. It's because on the site you can be out of the site for maybe 4 months, for 5 months, and you can have 2 of these out of
Fail,
service.
yeah.
And the transmitter still works at the nominal power. Of course, if you have a major damage of the blower, the power will gently reduce little by little, but it will always be on the air, which is the most important feature.
So we have been studying this equipment just to be installed for real in extreme condition.
Yeah, this is tested. Of course, it remains on the test for days and days to have, let's say, a burn-in. And of course, we test in the host conditions. So also the RF power is run without ventilation, just to see how the transistors are strong. Because the infant mortality on the field, on this kind of transmitter, every company, every brand is very high. So we have to reduce it by doing as many tests possible in the factory before it is shipped out.
Are you suggesting to the clients to buy a spare fan array, or it's something like not needed? What you are suggesting?
For the cost of the fan, it's always worthwhile having spares. Just for instance, on the power supply units, it's very easy to service, the power amplifier units, it's very easy to service when you remove it. So you can eventually not have any spares of that, because it's easy to repair if you have a pallet. So maybe you can have RF pallets to replace. It's also quite easy to do it. And
over here we are showing a 12.5 kilowatt used as a 10. So we have enough space and room.
You have a lot of room. And then here you have, for the service, this is a very important feature, all the electrical portion of the equipment is very accessible, very easy to service. It's at the main level, so you can work without getting inside the rack or without complicating too much your life. So you can replace, these parts are widely available everywhere in the world, so you don't have special parts that only R.V.R is selling. This is very useful for the service in remote areas or small cities or on the mountain top.
And the major wiring is over here, so it's
all
not...
the wiring is here. So this is a concentration of all the wiring.
So this is the solution, same as we have seen in the cabin.
It's exactly the
under
same
test.
machine under test. So that's just for you to know.
Yeah,
when you have customer visiting, come.
Yes, we're gonna show.
Bring them. We're gonna show them how to take out the drawers, how to take out. C'è un tirarvi un cassetto.
So you're gonna show us the amplifier, right? Okay. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen to the 10 kilowatts over the display. Okay. So it's very easy.
Very easy.
Okay. And then you can do your own maintenance on the unit.
But look on the power. It's still 7.5 kilowatt, you know?
Okay. So it will continues to go over the air.
Yes. Of course, the speed of the other blowers is increasing because you have an empty space, which means that you have more air going out.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more noisy, but a little bit.
I'm seeing here one open amplifier. So this is, I'm assuming, is on over maintenance or
exactly. Okay. So you have the power supply sections. You have the filter section. You have the combiner of the three pallets. You have the RF pallet here.
So it's very accessible.
Very accessible. So and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, 6 screws to remove the RF pallet with a new one. And you have 2 points of soldering.
Yeah.
And that's very clean, very clean. So you have the control unit, a PFC and power supply unit, distribution, RF, combiner, filter, output.
Very easy.
It's also very easy to
very quick
repair
to do.
and to maintain, of course. That is one of the major points. So I
Great.
think that's all.
This was a backstage.
Yeah, that's backstage.
Thank you.
Tell me, if you want to cut something, tell me, ask me first.
Great, great.